All right, guys, greetings. Michael Omowa here again, and we are starting the fourth episode on the series How to Secure Your Linux Server. Big appreciation, thank you to everyone that has subscribed and those that have liked, watched the video. Thank you for your encouragement. Your support means a lot to me. And if you are just joining or you stumbled on this channel for the very first time, please do well to subscribe, like, and tell your friends about our channel. Thank you very much once again. All right, so today uh, uh, we're going to be talking about fail to ban. All right, fail to ban. That's FAIL 2, like figure 2, ban, fail to ban. All right, fail to ban. What's fail to ban? Fail to ban is an intrusion prevention mechanism that help to prevent brute force attack, and also it sets certain rules for to prevent or monitor failed authentication. All right. It also helps you to protect services that are running on your server, like your web servers, Nginx, Apache, and other services that you have installed on your server. All right. Okay. So, without wasting too much of our time, I'll just go in. But before then, I'll just quickly summarize what we did the previous episode, episode 3, where we customize our SSH login port. All right, SSH default port. All right, we customized it from the default port of 22 to 3222. All right, so and that also is to prevent brute force attack, but that is not enough. Okay, to further strengthen it, to make it more robust, we're going to implement fail to ban. Okay, so we'll dive right in. We're going to be installing fail to ban, configuring and setting up our jail, and then start the fail to ban service. Okay, so without wasting too much of our time, I'll just dive right in. All right, so fail to ban, to install it, first you have to update your repo, your local repo. And to do that, you first of all, let's just confirm that we still have sudo privilege. Okay, okay, let's confirm this sudo ID. Okay, I do have sudo privilege. All right. So I'm going to update the repo, the repository, sudo apt. I'm using Ubuntu, so I can use apt sudo apt updates. Okay, so the repository is updated. Okay, so next what we're going to do now is to install failtoban, which is sudo apt install failtoban -y. Okay, failtoban, yeah. Okay, all right, so that was fast. It has installed. So but however we should we'll confirm. But before we confirm, let's enable the fail to ban service. Sudo system ctl enable fail to ban. service, okay, is enabled now. All right, so let's see the configuration files of field to ban. Let me clear the screen. Let's see the configuration file and where we're going to change certain parameters. All right, so all configuration files are located in the etc/field to ban directory. Oh, sorry, there's a command issue. CD. Then let's list it. All right. So these are all the configuration files for fail to ban. But however, we're going to concentrate on one particular file here, which is jill.conf. This particular file. Okay. In here, we're going to create, from this file, we're going to create the Jill, which we'll name as jill.local. But before we do that, let's take a backup. Okay, there's no need for backup. Let's just create our jill.local sudo cp. No, sorry, we're not taking backup. Nano. All right, so this will be our jail. In here, we're going to set certain parameters in this file that will help us. Okay, here we're going to set the parameters for the number of attempts we are going to allow, the service we are going to, or the jail name, right? The jail name is going to be SSHD because we are going to be monitoring the traffic, the login attempt for SSH, right? Then the maximum number of retries before it bans the IP, and the duration, the ban time, the duration for the ban time. All right. All right. So as I said earlier, I'll explain each of the parameters, and let me just set it first. SSHD is a jail, and we're going to enable it. Enable equals true. Now the port, remember we said the port number is 3222. Let's just confirm that. I'll send this. Let's just confirm the port number. All right. So let me just Control X this. I'm not saving. Let me just cut etc/sshd. Please do well to watch the previous episode to understand what we are doing here right now. Okay. All right. So here, the last episode, we changed the port here. We activated this parameter and changed the port from 22 to 3222. All right. So here, what we're going to do now is create a jail for SSH, okay, and enable it. Enable equal true, and that port was 3222. Okay, I will filter for SSHD connections, and the log path. Log path is /var/log slash auth.log. Okay. Now this part is for Ubuntu distro. All right. If you're using Red Hat Linux, the path will be not auth, it will be log dot secure, right? If you're using Red Hat. But since I'm using Ubuntu, it's auth.log. All right. Okay. So the max retry, as I said earlier, is the number of times you are permitted to attempt to log into the server. So here we're going to make it 3 times. That means after your third attempt, your IP address will be banned. Okay, the ban time, how sorry, fan time, how many minutes interval. If you maybe you try it the first 10 minutes, 10 minutes interval at each retries. All right. So let's say 10 minutes for instance. Now, how long do you want it to be banned for? All right. How long? I can't say, I can be very, very strict here. I can say ban time should be -1. Now, -1 means to ban this IP permanently. That means to ban the IP of the unauthorized person permanently. Or I could just say, okay, for every 24 hours, you can ban the IP for 24 hours. All right? Okay. Let's me just say -1. All right? Remember, I said -1 is permanently ban the IP. All right? I'm not recommending this. Make sure you check your cybersecurity policy for your organization, all right, before you implement this. Okay, okay. Um, then the others here, this is where you next parameter is ignore IP. Now, this parameter help to whitelist certain IP, your own IP, that means your local IP, and any other person you want to allow or that your organization has given the access to, or given the permission to access your server. All right. So you can then put the IP, list their IP here. So first thing first, you have to list your local IP. Okay. /8. That's your local host. And then if you are using IPv6, then any other IP you so wish. Like for example, I can decide to say 192.168. Make sure you know your IP. If you don't know your IP, you can decide to use visit the URL whatismyip.com. All right. If you from there you can get your IP, then you supply it here. Okay, .168.1.1. I'm just saying this is not my IP. Then if there is any other IP you want to add to the whitelist, also state it there, 10.0.0 whatever .44. You get? You just list them. All right. So /24 here. You just list them anyhow any IP available to you /24 here too. Okay. So if you've done that, now the next parameter here is ban action. This ban action is to further escalate the strictness. Let's say the person has attempted to brute force your SSH port, which is port 3222, and has failed. Once that IP is banned, it escalates it to other services. It will also ban it from accessing other services in your server. All right. They may also try, some attackers will try to brute force by attacking your Apache or any of your web servers. So, however, if you set this parameter, ban action, it can escalate the privilege above SSH. All right. So let's just put the IP tables, IP table, multiple, multiport. Oh, that's correct. multipo. All right, rotate. All right. So this is our parameters. All right. So now let's go through it again, what each of them represent. Now, the first one is SSHD. That's the jail name, all right? Meaning the rules apply to the SSH, your secure shell service, which is this first one here. That's the name of the jail, all right? Then here you are enabling that service. You are enabling to enable the fail to ban jail for SSH protection. All right. So you are enabling this rule. Then this is the port you are securing. All right. Specify your port number here. Mine for this particular VM is 3222. Please watch the previous episode. Then you're filtering for SSHD connection. All right. To detect any failed login attempt for SSH. All right. Then this log part is where you use to monitor that the fail to ban will monitor to check any failed login attempts. All right. This is the number of retries, the maximum number of retries before that ban is effective. Then what is the time interval? Maybe you try it first attempt, you wait again 10 minutes, you try it again, you wait again another 10 minutes and try it again. All right. Then your IP address will be banned. Hope that's clear. If it is not clear, please drop a comment. I can further give you more specifics. All right. Then I said the ignore IP. Sorry, the ban time. Now this ban time, I set it to -1. -1 means permanent, permanently ban that IP. I can decide to set this to 10 minutes, maybe to ban it for 10 minutes, right? To ban that particular IP for 10 minutes or ban it for 5 minutes, right? That means the person can retry after 5 minutes, okay? Or even ban it for 24 hours, okay? So, but however, I decided to go for -1. That means if you are not authorized to access the server, your IP will be banned permanently, except the IP is whitelisted. Okay. All right. Then the ignore IP. This is where you list your your IPs that you want to whitelist to avoid being banned. All right. Please do well to start with your own IP address. All right. Then the ban action, I said, as I explained earlier, will help you fail to ban to not just only protect your SSH service, but also protect other services. All right. All right. So let's save this. Control O and Control X. All right. So we have successfully installed fail to ban. We have set up the jail. All right. Now let's restart the fail to ban service. All right. Once we restart it, it takes effect. Now to do that, sudo systemctl restart fail to ban dot service. All right. So that service is restarted. You can decide to view if it has started blocking any IP, but I doubt if, since this is a VM, this is just my lab. I doubt if we'll get anything from here. But however, the command to check that is to check the status, sudo filter ban for that particular service, SSHD. All right, so here we do not have any ban IP yet. We do not have any ban IP. So here is empty. But if in a production environment you see, and you've implemented filter ban, you will see the list of IPs that it has blocked, and you have the count here. Okay, I hope that's clear. Please do well to drop comments if there's any part of this tutorial that's not clear. You would want me to revisit. Okay, then to unban, for those that will say, okay, what if you want to unban? You can as well just use the command to unban any IP. Probably a vendor is trying to connect and they are they are not able because of filter ban. You can just set the IP, then unban it, then put the IP here, 192.168.0.1, as the case may be, or .2, right? This IP automatically becomes unban. Okay, that means you are whitelisting the IP. All right. So that's basically that. Then to check if there are brute force attack on your server, if there's any attempt, unauthorized attempt to access your server, you can use this command sudo last b hyphen adf, yeah, adf, yeah. Okay, so here it's supposed to list out IPs that it has failed to ban has blocked, or that is trying to access your server. All right, or you can just check the auth log. Remember the log path that we set earlier? You can set the auth log. Just check the auth log, sudo grep. You grep for accepted IP, that's IPs that successfully accessed your server. On this part, log dot slash auth log. All right. Okay, so here you see the username, the public key, the type of authentication. My username is captured, the IP is captured, and the ports that it gave it, and all that. The type of service, the type of what I use to authenticate is SSH key. So this is the service. All right. So that, and the server name. So this command will give you all the attempts that successfully went through. Okay. You can as well check for failed login, right? You have accepted, you can as well check for failed login. Sudo last b, a pipe head. But this will not bring anything because, as I said earlier, this VM I always shut it down if I'm not using it. It's just my lab, right? So we can't get any output here. So I hope this tutorial is okay for what we wanted to achieve. All right, is just to build on the previous episode where we set up or modified our default SSH port, and today we have successfully implemented the fail to ban to help us prevent any brute force attack. Thank you very much for your time and for watching. Please subscribe and like, share, and turn on your notification. See you soon.